thank you, Emma, for joining us today on the Flame Station podcast. Emma is a co-founder of an interesting startup using artificial intelligence, so she's going to share with us a little bit about that today as well. So, Emma, what I would like to do is just give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to our audience, tell us what you do, where you come from, anything interesting that you would like to share.
Sure. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on your show. I'm excited to be here to talk about AI and agriculture. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of Genysysengine, and we are an AI research and engineering company based in Northern Ireland in the UK. So essentially, over the last 5 years, we've developed a unique system that allows us to create smart, tailored assistance for businesses and organizations.
Yes. So how did you get involved in AI and Agri? Is it
Well,
always
that's a bit of
something that you were interested in, or did it just come about?
that's a bit of a long story, so I'll kind of, I guess, shorten it for you. So initially, I started out in philosophy, studying the philosophy of technology and touching on the ethical considerations of AI. But I never
Yes.
considered doing it as a career or whether it was an option. So after this, I kind of began a career in digital marketing, and I specialized in creating websites and optimizing them for startups and small businesses. And I was traveling the world doing this, and where I met my co-founder, Matthew Eaton, in Thailand. So we worked together for about 6 months, essentially doing the same thing, when we realized a lot of the work was, I guess, repetitive. So
Yes.
we were spending a lot of time, I guess, explaining concepts to small businesses who all had their own different experience levels of where they were at.
Yes.
Alongside that, we had to carry out all the market research to essentially create them the best website for them, their business, and their audience and industry, that kind of thing. So we asked ourselves, like, there must be a better way of doing this, maximize our time and yet maximize the consumer's time.
Yes.
So we thought, like, what if we could clone my digital marketing experience and customer service experience, answering the questions and all, and Matthew's engineering experience to essentially automate the process. And we looked into many different ways of doing this, from transprecise computing to AI. So eventually we landed on AI because it was the best use case for what we were trying to create long term. And essentially with this came Wally, and he was our first assistant. And what's great about Wally is he can carry out all that market research, the design, and develop any digital application. So not just websites, he can do CAD files, web apps, that kind of thing, which
Yeah.
means that
Yes.
we can also use him to aid us in other agents. So Wally is a great product, but as a startup and a team of two, he is virtual. So we needed to kind of demonstrate something that people could see, that they would understand. So we looked at our models, and we knew that they could utilize hardware and devices. So that's something we wanted to focus on.
Yes.
And as our company kind of puts domain and industry knowledge at the heart of all our assistance, because we believe that's the best way to get the results, we had to focus on something that I guess we had an interest in. And I grew up in the country like my entire life. I'm a country girl. I love to grow my own food. But as I run a startup, I often find myself not having the time to do the things that I
Yes.
essentially love. So we came up with the idea for an AI agent to essentially help us with that. And this AI agent can be applied to different industries, such as agriculture, to optimize crop yield and productivity. So long story short, that's how we got into agriculture, but it was a jump to obviously go into AI and then use that concept to then go and help other industries. So.
Yes. Yeah, it's quite interesting that you started off in the philosophy and ethics side of things. I think it's still a very big question, and a lot of the advice is people should start studying philosophy so that we can figure out what to do with AI in the future and how to ethically think about it. Yeah, now you.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to the whole maximizing your time and making the most from your life. Traditionally, everything is a bit but about survival and then functioning and going to work and everything else, where it's now about, I guess, having that time to focus on things that are most important to you, to make sure everyone feels like they've reached their full purpose in life and you're not just doing things for the sake of doing them. So ethically, AI can really help us, but if you replace everyone, you're also looking at a not great future either. So there is those two sides of the coin, and it really comes
Yes,
down
yes.
to people and how they approach it and how they learn about it. If we just take these technologies for granted and we don't ask how they work, or more importantly, why they work, we're going to be in this situation where very few people are creating them and everyone else is just a consumer, which doesn't
Yes.
do well for putting other people's domain expertise into those areas. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if you've read any of Nick Bostrom's books, but the future could be utopian or dystopian with AI taking us taking us there.
Yeah.
Um,
All very true.
so I was